Once upon a time, in a quaint and quiet village nestled between gentle hills and lush trees, there resided a stunning little girl with the most glorious golden hair that danced with the sunlight. Her dazzling eyes sparkled like tiny stars. Her beaming smiles could light up anyone's day, and her infectious giggles brought warm laughter to every single soul. The villagers adored her for her boundless kindness, her bright, sunshine yellow spirit, and of course, her captivating charm. Now, this lovely grandmother was a kind, wise, and loving woman, with silvery hair that glimmers in the moonlight and sparkling eyes that radiated warmth. She held a distinctive bond with her granddaughter, and made the choice to gift her a brilliantly charming and warm red velvet cloak with a cozy hood. The cloak was incredibly vibrant and uplifting, almost as if it could light up anyone's mood, even on overcast days. The little girl absolutely adored it and absolutely wore it everywhere, earning her the endearing nickname Little Red Riding Hood. As time went by in their enchanted village, the delightful adventures of Little Red Riding Hood began. With every story she shared, joy and magic filled everyone who encountered her. In this enchanted world, the adventures of the charming little girl with the golden locks and the sweet red cloak forged a connection between the villagers, and love and magic bloomed in those beautiful hills. In the soft morning light that streamed in through the window, an unusual scene took place involving the cheerful atmosphere and the busy sounds of the natural world. A young girl named Red Riding Hood, adorned in a bright red hood and dressed in comfortable farm clothes, excitedly walked along a forest path, carrying a carefully prepared basket full of freshly baked bread, creamy butter, and an assortment of sweet cakes. Just as she reached the edge of the dense foliage, she noticed her mother emerging from behind a nearby bush with concern in her eyes. Upon her arrival at her grandmother's cottage across the forest, she discreetly entered through a small gap in the wooden door and handed her mother the basket she had carefully placed on her shoulder. "Your grandmother is not feeling well, my dear," her mother said gently, eyes filled with tears. "Please take this basket to her cottage, walk straight there, and remember, do not talk to strangers, do not wander from the path, and most importantly, stay on the path. The forest may seem enchanting, but it can be very dangerous." Red Riding Hood nodded seriously, her eyes twinkling with determination. She gave her mother a hug and promised, "I will be careful, Mother. I will follow your instructions." Then, with a flourish of her elegant red hood over her head, she skipped along the forest path, the basket gently balanced on her arm. The vibrant scenery of the surrounding forest was alive with sounds of birds singing, butterflies fluttering, and other wildlife. The crisp morning air was filled with the enchanting scent of wildflowers and pine. Red Riding Hood, immersed in the beauty of the outdoors, hummed softly to herself as she continued her pleasant stroll along the path. Perhaps there's nothing more heartwarming than discovering love in the simplest of moments. The power of these innocent moments to truly change lives is unparalleled. When young Red Riding Hood found her grandmother's affection in the peaceful embrace of the natural transcended the limitations of daily life. We hope that the story of Red Riding Hood will inspire readers to treasure these simple, unpretentious moments, and to embrace the wisdom that can be found hidden in the heart of Mother Nature. In the heart of the serene forest, two keen eyes sparkled with a mysterious intensity. Within the shadowy depths could be seen a sinister, large, dark wolf, meticulously observing a youthful girl. The wolf's ears perked up, and his teeth glinted as he licked his lips. Feeling a strong hunger begin to grow within him, with a stealthy stride, the youthful girl proceeded to take the path, a bright smile on her face. She greeted the wolf with a playful grin. "Hello there, little Red Riding Hood," he remarked with a delicate, smooth voice. "Are you on the prowl for today? And where exactly are you headed?" Despite the wolf's stealthy presence, Red Riding Hood's smile left no room for unpleasant intentions. She confidently responded, "I am going to visit my grandmother, who resides in a charming little cottage perched on the other side of the dense woods. She has been feeling much under the weather, and I am bringing her some nutritious food to ensure she feels much better." The wolf's eyes immediately lit up with a mischievous sparkle as the thought entered his mind. A girl, a young girl in particular, and an elderly woman. The perfect ingredients for a delicious scheme. However, he remained cautious, buried under a cheery smile. "That sounds truly thoughtful, young lady," he replied. "Why not pick some gorgeous flowers, some bright blooms for your grandmother? She'd adore a lovely array of colors, just like the stunning forests we have here in the woods." Red Riding sparkled with delight at the idea of flowers for her grandmother. She adored all kinds of blooms, and nothing made her heart swell more than the thought of making her grandmother's day just that much brighter. With her head up, she gathered a vibrant bluebell, a sun-kissed daisy, and a few delicate white flowers, thoughtfully arranging them into a small, elegant bouquet, while she hummed happily. She had no idea that the sinister wolf had quietly slipped away, bypassing the path and directly heading to her grandmother's abode. Meanwhile, the fearless wolf raced through the verdant underbrush, his paws maintaining silence against the soft, yielding ground. Within moments, he arrived at the quaint cottage that sat just off the path. He gently knocked on the door, calling out in a sweet, deep voice, "It's I, little Red Riding Hood, grandmother." The old lady, feeling weak from her illness, mistook the visitor for her granddaughter and called out, "Come on in, sweetheart." In an instant, the wolf burst through the door and, without a second thought, gobbled her up in one go. He smacked his lips, then donned her nightcap, hopped into her bed, and pulled the covers up snugly. He chuckled to himself, eagerly anticipating Red Riding Hood's arrival. Meanwhile, Red Riding Hood was happily picking a beautiful bouquet in the woods. She danced along the trail, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger. Birds sang merrily overhead, and the sunlight sparkled on her red hood. Before long, she arrived at her grandmother's cottage and gave a gentle knock on the door. "Come in, my dear," called a voice that sounded familiar but was weak and raspy. Riding Hood opened the door and stepped inside. She hesitated, seeing her grandmother lying under the blankets. Something felt off. Her grandmother's eyes looked peculiar. Her voice was strange, and her movements seemed odd. "Oh, grandmother," Red Riding Hood said, tilting her head in confusion. "What big eyes you have!" "The better to see you with, my dear," the wolf replied, his voice rough but attempting to mimic her grandmother. Red Riding Hood took a cautious step forward, gripping her basket tightly. "Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have," she remarked, frowning at the sight. "The better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf said, a sly grin spreading across his face. Her curiosity shifted to unease, but she found herself unable to look away. "Oh, grandmother, what big teeth you have!" she exclaimed, inching closer to the bed. The wolf, his patience wearing thin, could no longer contain his hunger. With a dramatic flourish, he tossed aside the heavy blanket that had concealed him, revealing his sharp fangs glinting in the dim light. "The better to eat you with," he growled menacingly, his eyes narrowing as he prepared to pounce. Red Riding Hood, caught off guard by the wolf's sudden ferocity, let out a piercing scream that echoed through the quaint cottage. Her heart raced as she sprinted across the room, her little feet barely touching the ground. But the wolf was swift and relentless. His jaws snapped shut just inches from her, the air thick with tension and fear. But just when it seemed all hope was lost, a thunderous sound broke through the chaos, the unmistakable crack of wood being chopped. A booming voice followed, calling out with authority. It was a woodcutter, a sturdy figure with muscles honed from years of labor, who happened to be passing through the forest. Hearing the commotion, he rushed towards the cottage, axe raised high, ready to confront whatever evil lurked inside. The wolf, sensing his impending doom, spun around to flee, but it was too late. With a powerful swing, the woodcutter struck the wolf with all his might. The creature fell to the ground, a defeated growl escaping his lips, and silence enveloped the room. In one swift motion, the woodcutter opened the wolf's belly, and out tumbled the grandmother, disheveled but unharmed. Relief washed over her as she clutched Red Riding Hood tightly, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "Oh, my sweet child," she murmured, her voice trembling with emotion. "I was so frightened, but you're safe now. You must promise me never to stray from the path again. The woods can be treacherous, and I can't bear the thought of losing you." Red Riding Hood nodded vigorously, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. Together, they embraced the woodcutter, who had not only saved them, but had also restored their faith in the goodness of brave souls. From that day on, the tale of their harrowing adventure became a cherished story, passed down through generations, a reminder of courage, family, and the strength that comes from unity. Little Red Riding Hood, with her vibrant red cloak billowing behind her, rushed into her grandmother's cozy cottage, where the sweet aroma of freshly baked bread lingered in the air. She enveloped her grandmother in a warm, tender hug, her heart swelling with love and relief. "I swear, Grandma," she said earnestly, her eyes sparkling with sincerity, "I won't wander off the path or chat with strangers anymore. I was really silly to stray away, even just for a second." The woodcutter, a rugged yet kind-hearted man, entered the scene, his hands laden with an assortment of goodies from the basket. He offered them to Grandma, who took a bite of the delectable treats, her face lighting up with joy. Laughter soon filled the room, a sweet melody echoing off the wooden walls as they shared stories and memories, their bonds growing stronger with each chuckle. Grandma, her health rejuvenated by the company and the snacks, at Red Riding Hood with pride, grateful for her return. From that pivotal moment, Riding Hood clung tightly to the important lesson she had learned in the shadowy woods. She made a promise to herself to stick to the well-trodden path, approach strangers with a healthy dose of caution, and treasure her grandmother's love more than ever before. Each step she took was infused with newfound wisdom, her heart a compass guiding her through life's adventures. In that serene little village, nestled among the towering trees of the dense, dark woods, Little Red Riding Hood, her wise grandmother, and the brave woodcutter forged a life filled with happiness and safety. Together, they navigated the complexities of the world, always alert to the sly tricks of the lurking wolf, ensuring that their days were marked by joy and togetherness, forever united against the shadows that once threatened their peace. Thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe our channel to hear same children's story for bedtime.